Ukraine is on the counteroffensive. Russia is changing their military tactics. Today in this video, we're going to be looking at an interactive map. At the time of making this video, we can see where Russia is holding portions of Ukraine, where Russia is moving their forces, where Ukraine is making their offenses. But before we get to the map, please like the video, please subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you guys think. I love to hear from you guys, but let's go ahead and get to the map. So first things first, you see a solid blue line cutting the country in half to an eastern and western portion. This is the Dnieper River. The Dnieper River quite literally splits the country in half, and this is a very important geographical feature that we're going to talk about a little bit into the video. Another important fact, the blue lines, those stripes that you see, the white and blue stripes, that is where Ukraine is making their counteroffensive. We can see in real time where Ukraine is pushing their forces and pushing the Russians back. We didn't think we would actually see this. The solid red, that is where Russia has total control of all of these areas. Russia has already been in Ukraine since 2014, so they've already had some time to really get footholds in certain portions of Ukraine. And the red lines with the white stripes, that is where Russia is trying to make their offensive. That's where they're trying to gain ground into certain territories of Ukraine. So again, let's go to Kiev. Kiev was a very decisive and massive battle where Ukraine stopped that 40-mile convoy that was supposed to surround all of Kiev, and that was supposed to pretty much solidify taking out the Ukrainian government, and it was supposed to be a total massive victory for Russia. Obviously, this was a total massive failure. If anything, this showed Russian logistics, how bad the logistics were, how bad their defensive were when trying to move a 40-mile convoy. Absolutely nearly impossible. We also see in this blue territory where Ukraine made their counteroffensive, this is part and due to the fact that Russia was playing along with Ukraine. Russia was going back into Belarus. At the time of making this video, Russia right now is staging in Belarus. We don't know exactly why. Many people think they're going to retrain their troops, talk about the tactics, and try to go back to Kiev. That's one theory that's kind of going around the military tactics community. But right now, at the time of making this video, we can see that that portion of Ukraine right now is being held and is being defended by the Ukrainians. This is very important now, because now if Russia wants to try pushing back through Chernobyl and try taking that highway that goes straight to Kiev, Ukraine is waiting for them, and they know all the tactics that Russia is going to be doing. But now, the next theory that's kind of going around out there is that Russia really is only going to care about the Donbass region. So if you remember at the beginning of this conflict, Russia quite literally just drove straight into Ukraine. They didn't fire a single shot, and they went to Lugansk and they went to Donetsk. And they were there and they were saying, we are going to save our people. We're going to hand out Russian passports. And now you are a part of Russia. And because you guys are Russian civilians, we are going to defend you guys with our Russian forces. So the theory right now is that a lot of the Russian forces in Belarus, they are going to bring their forces over to the eastern portions of the Donbass region. And they are going to try securing that region and just make it a part of Russia. Another major theory right now that is not looking too good for Russia is the Mariupol region. So we already know Crimea has been annexed back in 2014. And pretty much this was a very weird thing that Russia just took over the whole island, and they just gained a tactical and strategic advantage in the Black Sea. Now they want to take Mariupol. If they can take that, they will have a massive advantage in the Black Sea. They will pretty much conquer all the Black Sea if they can take over Mariupol. Now the only issue with Mariupol is this. Anytime that Russia tries to bring a ship in, they're being taken out by Ukrainian forces, by the Ukrainian professional military and by other Ukrainian forces like the volunteer forces. So right now, at the time of making this video, there really are no solid lines where Russia can get a clear-cut victory or advantage anywhere. They do have their portions. They have the Donbass region, which we already kind of saw this coming. If Russia wants to take Donbass, I'm sure Ukraine will be okay with that and will say okay with a ceasefire. But the main theory right now that if Russia's just going to go for it, it's going to be that Russia's going to try taking over that whole eastern portion of Ukraine. You can see that blue line cuts all of Ukraine in half. And at the beginning of the war, many people thought that's what Russia was going to do. They're going to push into Kharkiv. They're going to push straight to Kiev. They're going to take over all the eastern portions. So it was quite surprising when Russia used Belarus to cut down into Kiev. Many people did not expect that. Because even for a country like the United States, let's say the US military, or even the British, some of the strongest militaries in the world, taking Kiev would be almost nearly impossible. It would be a disaster. So for Russia to do it, when Russia hasn't been in a legit conflict since the 80s, everybody ever, including myself, was saying it's nearly impossible. I even have a video on this channel saying it would be impossible back before they went to Kiev. So right now, I just want you guys to remember the theories at the time of making this video. People think the Russian military, they are staging in Belarus and they're going to maybe push back into Kiev for a counteroffensive. The Russian military, they already have control of the Donbass region. They're going to push all their forces into Donbass and just try to hold that region like they were originally going to, or they're going to try to go into Mariupol and they're going to try holding that port city, because if they can hold the port, they will have massive control of the Black Sea, and that'll be a very big black eye for Ukraine. And again, worst case scenario really is Russia's going to do a massive all-out attack for the entire eastern portion of Ukraine. This would be very bad for all sides. Many losses, civilians, very bad. Whether or not Russia will take over the whole eastern portion, I'm done making bets. I'm done saying what I think they're going to do. Russia literally has proven they will do anything it takes to do whatever, to take whatever. If they're willing to send a 40-mile convoy towards Kiev only for that to fail, it's a really bad situation for all sides. I'm very sad this is happening, and I hope it ends soon. I hope that there is a ceasefire. And yeah, I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think is going to happen? Are they going to come back in from Belarus? Are they going to take the entire eastern portion of Ukraine? Or are they just going to stay in the Donbass, Mariupol region and try to take those eastern portions of Ukraine? Let me know what you guys think. Again, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.